away from our home and our community in Georgia, in the Atlanta, Georgia area. So we wanted to be with you on this Shabbat. We would greatly desire to eat and to share this Shabbat with you, our friends, and our mishpacha, and our partners around the world. Shabbat Shalom if you're just joining us. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, if a man shall make a singular vow regarding the evaluation of lives unto Yahuwah, and your estimation shall be of the male from 20 years old even to 60 years old. Your estimation shall be 50 shekels of silver after the shekels of the Kadosh place. So this is not putting a value on the difference between men and women and slaves and owners. It is a temple tax. It's an evaluation so that you can account for them and they can contribute to the expenses of Israel and to the welfare of Israel. Okay? So this is not any kind of a demeaning that women are less or that men are more or anything of that nature. Okay? Shabbat Shalom, Stereo. Nice to have you with us. House of my people, Shalom. Hey, don't forget to invite others in your congregations to join us on this Shabbat. We're on the road. We're away from our community, but we greatly wanted to share this Shabbat with you. So a male from 20 to 60 was worth 50 shekels. Not in terms of money. We're talking about money today. But in terms of what their contribution would be to the corporate welfare of the community and the maintenance of the Kohanut and the tabernacle and any other expenses. And if it is a female, then your estimation shall be 30 shekels. And if it is from 5 years old even to 20 years old, then your estimation for a male will be 20 shekels. For the female, 10. So you see, it's not just gender-based, it's age-based. You see that? So it's not a lifting up of one gender over another. It's also age-based. See, these are the evaluations that Yahuwah wants from each age group and each gender and the contributions, but everybody contributing. So it's not right for 3 people or 4 people to pay all the bills for a ministry. We all must do our part, whether you're a woman, whether you're between 20 and 60, a man, doesn't matter. The point is everybody needs to do their part. Verse 6, and if it is from a month old, even to 5 years old, then your estimation for a male will be 5 shekels, and a female, your estimation shall be 3 shekels. Okay. So these are the evaluation of what is required, more so by age than by gender. Meaning even young men and young women, they're all supposed to contribute. So what parents would contribute for children as well. Okay. In the people of Israel, everybody's involved in the ministry and everybody's involved in the service of Yahuwah. There are not supposed to be any superstars and there are not supposed to be any spectators. If it be a male from 60 years or old above, it will be a male, then your estimation would be 15 shekels. And an elderly female, 10 shekels. But if he is too poor, verse 8, we're in Leviticus 27, to pay your estimation, meaning the one I'm telling you needs to be paid, temple tax for expenses in the budget. So everybody has a responsibility to share and contribute. And when you don't share and contribute, then you're taking advantage of Yahuwah, and you're taking advantage of his goodness, and you're taking advantage that you need to support the work of Yahuwah. so that those who are not yet Israel may become Israel. Those who are not yet in the camp may come to the camp. You don't give to Sholiach. You don't give so that we can have more money. You give for those like you who are yet to arrive, so that the temple doors and the worship of the tabernacle may be open to others. So you can stop being selfish, thinking that this walk in this world that you live in is all about you. The point being in Leviticus 27, when it comes to money, and that's going to be what I'm going to be sharing about later, and some of you are going to get very upset. So if you don't like getting upset, I would suggest that you grab a pen and a paper and take notes so you won't get angry in what comes into your ears, because I'm going to challenge you. Verse 8, if he is too poor to pay the estimated value tax, then he shall present himself before the Kohen, the priest, the high priest, in those days. And the Kohen, the high priest, or those who serve under him, they're going to be saying the same thing anyway, shall set a value according to the ability that vowed shall the Kohen value him. So if he's poor, he can negotiate with the Kohen how much he's to contribute to the people of Israel, to the temple maintenance, the altar maintenance, all the expenses and budgeting that comes up. You can call it a temple tax, but in Torah it's actually called an estimated value price. Okay, and it's nothing to do with men being better than women. We see here an older man has less of a value than a younger man, not in the eyes of Yahuwah, but in the eyes of the service. So this is how the people are to be divided in areas of service, based on their age, based on their ability, based on their income. The point being, there's no free lunch. And the point being, Yahuwah knew that everybody says, okay, I'm going to give and I'm going to tithe and I'm going to be led by the Spirit. Refuse to be led by the Spirit, because Yahuwah knows our hearts. That's like I'll pray for you and then you don't pray for anybody. Okay? So rather than trust the Holy Spirit, because Yahusha trusted the Holy Spirit, but he didn't trust you. And he didn't trust me. So he gave us an estimated amount of shekels that's required for the contribution from the people. So if a person was poor, the Kohen would hear from the Ruach, and they would agree upon their contribution. And if it was less. But the poor was not let off the hook, like some of you let yourself off the hook. Poverty is not an excuse not to support the work of Yahuwah. That's not an excuse. It's only an excuse in your head, but it's not an excuse in the Torah. And if it is a beast, of which men bring an offering to Yahuwah, all that man gives of such to Yahuwah shall be kadosh. He shall not alter it or change it, a good one for a bad one for a good one. And if he shall change or exchange a beast for a beast, the exchange of it shall be kadosh. So Yahuwah wants the best. If it's not silver, if it's an offering of a calf or a goat, a beast, it has to be beast for beast. Okay, it can't be a bad one or a damaged one, and it can't be a substitute. And the Kohen shall value the beast, whether it's a tov beast or a ra'ah beast. The Kohen shall set a value on it for Israel. Okay, so everything in Israel has value. Every person and everything in Israel has value. And everything and every person in Israel is expected to contribute, because we are valuable assets in the support of the kingdom. Okay? And whether it's silver, whether it's a beast, whatever it is, if someone is poor, they go to the Kohen and they negotiate, and the Kohen will determine what their contribution is. This is how we function. The Kohen will evaluate whether it's good or bad. Whatever the Kohen shall value, so shall it be. But if he will at all redeem it, then he shall add a fifth part to the estimation. Okay. So if someone cannot give or will not give, or it's not timely to give, or whatever the case may be, you can redeem it for yourself. You can hold on to the estimation, the Israelite tax, the Commonwealth tax. Okay, let's call it a Commonwealth tax. You can hold on to it, but when you pay back, you've got to add 20%. Now, some of you have been stealing from Yahuwah for years. Okay, and not only do you owe the kingdom money, not me, I don't need your money. Keep your money. But you owe the kingdom money, and now you got to add 20% because you've been robbing Yahuwah for 10 years. And if you're in the ministry, you especially need to tithe. I praise Yahuwah for this time here in Georgia, because I got to give away hundreds of dollars to another man's ministry. Okay, I came here this weekend, and I had the opportunity to catch up on my tithing. I don't consider it wrong. I don't consider it wicked. The laborer is worthy of his hire. The Commonwealth of Israel, the kingdom of Yahweh, all those who are under Yahusha are expected to contribute. Old, young, male, female. There's no category here in today's Torah parsha that Yahuwah does not cover, or that he gives them a free pass or a get out of jail card. So you're allowed to keep your tithe provided you have a date. You have an exact date and time to give it back to 20%. And that's why some of you you're gonna die in the same room you live in now. And you're never gonna move out or move on up because you don't tithe. Because the devil has lied to you that you can't afford to tithe. Okay? The devil is a liar. So I'm glad. A lot of things that I'm not glad about this weekend that I'm not going to share with you. It's none of your business. But one thing I'm glad about is that I had an opportunity to give some money away. I took some of your tithes and offerings, and I sowed it into another man's ministry. So if you want to, especially if you're in the ministry and you want your ministry and your family to prosper, the ministry must tithe to another ministry. Okay, a ministry cannot tithe to itself. That's called money manipulation, or like the world likes to say, money laundering. You're laundering money from bank account A to bank account B, and you're calling that a tithe. No, a ministry has to tithe, just like the people have to tithe. Verse 14, when a man shall set apart his bayit to Yahuwah, our homes are kadosh leYahuwah, the Kohen shall put an estimate on the house, whether it is tov or ra'ah. As the Kohen shall determine, so shall it stand. So even in Israel, even the homes that we owned were set apart to Yahuwah. And it was not a real estate agent who determined the price of your house. It was the Kohen. That's how the kingdom operates. Okay, so if you dedicated your house to Yahuwah where your mishpacha lived, today in today's real estate market, secular world, the market determines the value. But in a theocracy, Yahuwah is anointed, who is anointed to receive offerings, will determine the value of your home. And if you do not want to donate it to the kingdom and you want to keep it set apart, you must add 20% if and when you do something with it. So in other words, you can keep your home, but eventually you're going to have to add 1/5 or 20% of the value that the priest has determined that your home is worth. So if you want to keep your home, you may do so. But if and when you want to discharge your home, you can't do it through a realtor. You got to do it through Yahuwah, and the priest will determine how much the house is worth. And we don't have many more details than that. Okay, was it sold, and then the finances were brought into the treasury? Was it donated to the kingdom? We don't know. We're not. The Torah is silent about that. Verse 16. If a man will set apart to Yahuwah some part of his field, where he grows crops and agriculturally and produce, then the estimation shall be according to its produce, its fruit, its seed. A homer of barley zera shall be valued at 50 shekels of silver. If he sets apart his field from the year of Yovel, Jubilee, according to your estimation, it shall stand. So there were other calculations. How much fruit it bore, how many years left till the next Jubilee, when all debts were canceled. So there were a lot of mathematics involved to determine the price of possessions. But when it came to the contribution for people, there was a set amount. When it came to contributions for the house or the land, and it was based on many criteria, including how many years into or how many years away from a Jubilee we were. If he set apart his field from the year of Yovel, according to your estimation, it shall stand. If he set apart his field after the Yovel, after the Jubilee year, which is the 49th, not the 50th. A lot of people think that the Jubilee is the 50th year. No. The 50th year is the first year of a new cycle, a new 7 times 7 cycle. Okay, I want you to remember that, because we see in the book of Jubilees that the Jubilee year is the 49th year. So if he set apart his field in the first year of a new Jubilee or any time after the Jubilee, the Kohen will reckon to him the money according to the years that remain, even to the year of the next Jubilee. It shall be deducted from your estimation. So whether it's a land or a home, all these things have to be calculated based on 49. Okay, how many years are we away removed from year 49? And then how many years to the next 49th year? Okay, so to think that the kingdom of Yahuwah and the Commonwealth of Israel was just like a haphazard thing, and you can just give whatever you want. Who told you that? Who told you that nonsense? Who told you that you can give whatever you want? What demon told you that? The Torah is very specific. You start with 10%. Once you've met your 10% tithe, you see all these calculations: house, field, elderly, poor, youngin. Okay? You had the freedom in certain areas to give, but you only have freedom to give once your mathematical obligation was met. People like to say, "Oh, Mom, I don't have to. I just give whatever. I give cheerfully." No, you don't give cheerfully. You give lyingly. Lyingly. You are free to give as you're led by the Ruach, once the mathematics and once the percentage has been met. This is Torah, okay? I don't care if you get mad at me. I don't care if you go watch another broadcast. Y'all can do whatever you want to do. You don't pay my salary. You didn't call me. I'm responsible to be faithful, a faithful witness to the one who called me. And I don't much care if you like me either. I would like to be liked. Everybody would like to be liked. We're all human beings, but that's not a criteria of being faithful. Getting real quiet now. But if the set-apart field is after the Yovel, the Kohen will reckon to him the money according to the years that remain, even to the year of the next Yovel, it shall be deducted. And we call that today in accounting, I forgot what that term is. You base it on the year amortization. There are a whole bunch of amortization schedules. That's basically. You're welcome, Achoti. See, today I can see you. You see that? I can see you today. Normally I'm behind the desk, right? On Shabbos. And normally I can't see you. But now I can see you. So, Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. You're welcome, sister. And if he that set apart the field will in any way want it for himself, or to hold on to the field for a season, no problem. You come back at the time where you discharge your field or your produce or whatever you're holding back from Yahuwah and add your 20%. The credit card companies got it right. Where do you think they got it from? You think they're going to charge you 5%? The Torah charges you 20% interest. Now, the Torah also says you shall not charge interest to your brother, okay? So if I give you money or you give me money, you don't charge me interest, I don't charge you interest. But when it comes to the provision and the maintenance of the kingdom and the commonwealth and the tabernacle, everybody, which part about everybody do we have a problem under? Everybody is expected to contribute. And I love the folks in my community. I don't got to ask them for tithes. I don't got to ask them for anything. Every week, the money's there before the service starts. In Zelle and PayPal, every week before the service starts, the money's there. Now, that's a man or a woman who wants to tap into biblical principles. If I got to pull your teeth, I don't have many teeth to pull. But if I have to pull your teeth, keep the money. My people know that even before the service starts, they send in their tithes, their offerings on Friday, so they don't have to be bothered. Now that's somebody who understands how the kingdom works. So anything you want to hold back from the Commonwealth income of the Commonwealth that's used to sustain the Commonwealth, you can keep it. You can keep it, but you have to add 20%. You have to add 20% interest. And I'm guessing the 20% interest was monthly. That's what I'm guessing. It could have been yearly. We're not sure. Verse 20. If he will not redeem the field, or if he has sold the field to another man, it shall not be redeemed. In other words, he didn't give it to the Commonwealth purpose. He sold it for private aggrandizement. Okay, see the difference? So if you've determined in your heart to sell your house for private aggrandizement, then you don't need to redeem it anymore. It doesn't belong to the Commonwealth. Okay? It belongs to you. And then you decided to sell it. I think in all my years of public ministry, I think I've seen one or two people who actually sold a house or sold a property, okay, and donated the tithe or the corresponding offering to the ministry. Okay, most people are pretty slick when it comes to Yahuwah and dealing with money. We'll talk about that later today. They'll tithe on a $200 check, or they'll tithe on a $600 paycheck. But if they sell property and they make $120,000 profit, they leave the assembly rather than pay 10% of $120,000. Oh, they start looking for another congregation, or they sell their car for $8,000. Okay, and they say, "Oh, I don't agree with the teaching. I don't like this place." And that's a perfect time to leave, isn't it? Isn't that a perfect time to leave? So they don't have to pay the $8,000, right? When it comes time to giving Yahuwah a tip and treating him as a cosmic bellhop, I tithe. Yeah, you tithe until it comes time to sell a high-ticket item, So Yahweh says, keep your stupid money. I don't want it. I don't want to redeem it. I don't want it. It's yours. I don't want it. Okay? He gives you the option of being selfish. And why do we give? We exist for people who are not yet Israel. We keep the doors open. We pay the bills. There are others like you who need what we have. We're not tithing to make Moshe Kanichowski more money. We're not tithing so we don't feel guilty. You're tithing because you are expected to contribute. You have his blessings. Now you want to take that and make sure others get the same benefits who will come into the Commonwealth. Verse 21. But the field, when it is released in the Yovel, will be set apart to Yahuwah, Kadosh LeYahuwah. Dedicated, the possession will be the Kohanes. Notice. Okay, so if you're going to release a field, a house, whatever, in the year of the release, every 49th year, the release doesn't go to another man or woman in Israel. If you want to sell your property, you do it within the 49 years, okay? But once you hit the 49th year, okay, and you want to release it, okay, it belongs to the Kohen. And that's how Yahuwah provided for the Kohen. If a man sets apart to Yahuwah a field that he has bought, which is not a field of his possession, then the Kohen will reckon to him the worth of the estimation, even to the year of the Yovel, and he shall give you your estimation in that Yom as a Kadosh thing to Yahuwah. In the year of the Yovel, the field shall return to him from whom it was bought, even to him from whom the possession of the land did belong. So you see all these stipulations, okay? There were certain stipulations where it would return to the owner, and those, when these things were released in the year of Yovel, Jubilee, they belonged to the Kohen. So it all depended on timing, right? It all depended on timing. Verse 26, only the Bachor of the living creatures, which is Yahuwah's Bachor, no man will set it apart. Whether it is an ox or a sheep, it is Yahuwah's. So we're not talking about lands and fields and possessions, which depending on when in the 49-year cycle or on the 49-year cycle, or if it's dedicated to Yahuwah, or if it's dedicated to your own self. There are a lot of different stipulations, but the firstborn, and some of the stipulations have to be made on the run or on the fly by the high priest. Some of them don't have stipulations. You bring it to the Kohen, and through the Ruach, he will determine the estimated value tax. Only the firstborn of the living creatures are automatically Yahuwah's. Okay, so those can't be born or sold or, kept by you and then paid back with 20% interest. Anything that opens the womb, anything that petters the womb is automatically Yahuwah's. It's non-negotiable. If it is an unclean beast, you shall redeem it according to your own estimation and add 20% to it. If it is not redeemed, it shall be sold according to your estimation. Notwithstanding, no dedicated thing that a man devotes to Yahuwah of all that he has, both man and beast or field of his possession, will be sold or redeemed. Shall be sold or redeemed. Every dedicated thing is kadosh to Yahuwah. So, anything you have dedicated by virtue of a vow onto Yahuwah is his. Anything that opens the womb of a male or the firstborn of a beast is his. Okay? So the rule of the firstborn is exempt from these laws. They're automatically dedicated to Yahuwah, automatically devoted to Yahuwah. Anything of man and beast that is firstborn is kadosh. Everything that is the first is kadosh. The first fruits, the first part, the firstborn. No one under the ban shall be redeemed, but shall surely be put to death. Okay, so there was a different set of laws for Men who were under the ban, that again, we have very few details on that. But there were certain individuals who were under a death sentence, and so these laws of calculation and redemption do not apply to them. Or a ban could mean they were excommunicated. But it says surely be put. So they were guilty of some kind of capital offense or something of that nature. And all the maaser of the land, whether the zerah of the land or the fruit of the eitz, is Yahuwah's. It is kadosh to Yahuwah. So the first fruit is not negotiable. Of the land, of the trees, of the fruit, it is already set apart. It already belongs to Yahuwah. Okay, so the first fruits could be of your paycheck, could be of your 401k, whatever, your social security check. The first fruits is set apart to Yahuwah. That means it doesn't belong to you. And the first fruits cannot be redeemed. Certain things can be redeemed, meaning you could hold it, the Yahuwah will lend it to you, but you got to pay back the worth of the thing you're holding back plus the 20%. Okay? And that has to be paid back. Whatever it's worth plus the 20%. But all the bikurim, the first fruits of anything, must be brought to Yahuwah. Non-negotiable, can't be redeemed. It's already set apart. And all the maaser of the land, all the 10%, whether the zerah of the land, the fruit of the eitz, is Yahuwah's. It is kadosh to Yahuwah. So the dedicated things in terms of possession and first fruit and the tithe is, whether it's fruit of the land or fruit of the tree, belongs to Yahuwah. So these people who are, you don't have to tithe, they're basically in order to get your support and for you to get you to like their ministry or their work, they're basically teaching you how to steal. Because Yahuwah says the things that are dedicated belong to me, and the things that are tithe belong to me. So when someone tells you, no, it belongs to you, they're basically twisting the Torah, giving you legal authority to steal, or a legal open door for the enemy, the devil, to attack your finances and to put your finances under a financial curse. So when someone tells you that you don't have to tithe, it sounds great, right? Oh, I want to join that group. Yo, they don't put any pressure. I don't feel any pressure. I want to go to a group where there's no pressure to give. But it's worse than that. What's happening is they're teaching you ipso facto to steal from what already belongs to Yahuwah. And then the enemy, the devil, has a legal right to come in and to curse your finances. We see that in Malachi. So you open your door to a curse of lack and to a curse of poverty by listening to those lies. If a man indeed, verse 31, if a man indeed redeems any of his maaser, the only time you can keep the tithe is if you're willing to pay back to Yahuwah and add 20%. Okay? So there's an exception. You want to keep anything back, whether it's this or whether it's that, whether it's this, you must add 20%. And concerning the maaser of the herd or of the flock, along with the firstborn, the 10% of the herds, the flocks, plus all the firstborn that belongs to Yahuwah, whatever passes under the rod, that means whatever is counted for him. Under the rod means like a counter. Okay, whatever passes under the rod, he counts for himself. And so whatever has been counted by the rod of Yahuwah shall be his and shall be kadosh leYahuwah. He will inquire whether it be tov or bad, neither will he change it. And if he changes it, then both it and that for which it will change shall be kadosh, it shall not be redeemed. Okay, so if you exchange, you give Yahuwah one thing and you take back another thing, you got to give it and it cannot be redeemed. You cannot pay interest on it. So again, these are a whole bunch of various laws of how the Commonwealth are supposed to function. These are the commandments of finances and how the Commonwealth is to pay its bills, which Yahuwah did command Moshe for all the children of Israel on Har Sinai. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. The blessing of the word of Yahuwah after the Torah. Baruch atah Yahuwah Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah temet, v'chayei olam nata betocheinu. Baruch atah Yahuwah noten haTorah. Amen. Blessed are you, Yahweh Elohim, King of the universe, who has given us a Torah of truth and has planted eternal life in our midst. Blessed are you, Yahuwah, giver of the Torah. Everyone standing, please. Everyone standing, please. We lift up the Torah. Everyone pointing at the uplifted Torah. Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe לבני בני ישראל על פי יהוה ביד משה. Amen. This is the Torah that Yahweh placed before the children of Israel through the mouth of Almighty Yahuwah and the hand of Moshe Rabbeinu Moses, our teacher, of blessed memory. As the Torah is returned to its resting place with the traditional singing of the Eitz Chaim Hi. Eitz Chaim Hi למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועה וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו יהוה אליך ונשובה. חדיש חדיש ימינו חדיש ימינו כקדם. You see, this old scroll is a tree of life to those who take hold of it. All those who support its work in the earth, the word of Yahuwah's work in the earth, are worthy. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths in the end bring shalom. Bring us back to Yahuwah. Bring us back, O Yahuwah, to yourself, and we will come back. Renew our days as in the days of the united 12 tribes of Israel under Melech David. We will come if and when you renew our days as of old. Torah has been returned to its resting place. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Again, I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. If you're just joining us, the background is a little bit different than you're usually used to seeing. We're on the road again. We're broadcasting live over the Your Arms of Love to Israel video streaming network. It's a blessing and a pleasure to have you all with us. We're going to get right into today's teaching. And today we're going to be sharing a message you don't understand. You're not educated regarding money. I'm going to talk about people who charge for the gospel. I'm going to talk about who should charge, who shouldn't charge, when it's wrong to charge, okay? We have a whole bunch of misconceptions. And I'm going to try to, by Yah's help, straighten all these things out today. You're welcome, Rowan. You're welcome, Achoti. Nice to have everyone with us. Please don't forget on this Shabbat to share the broadcast as others come online. So this is an opportunity for us, as we just read in the Torah Parsha, to stop being spectators and to support the ministry. Some of you do. Some of you are being convicted right now to step up and do your part in the Commonwealth of Israel. As you can see, we're a faithful ministry. We try to be faithful whether we're at home or away. No matter what our circumstances are or aren't, we try to be faithful to you and to our students and to those who worship Yahuwah, pardon me, with us. So now, having heard the word of Yahuwah in the Torah Parsha, some of you I've never heard from. Some of you I see all the time on the chat. Some of you I read all your emails and I've never seen you contribute. And so I'm going to ask you, please, to go to the website, Your Arms of Love to Israel Global. You'll go to the Lions Club. Many of you know where that is. You go to the Lions Club, look for the department that says Lion Club. Please pay your maaser, your tithes, not just your offerings. Your offerings are over and above the tithe, okay? And so if we've never heard from you before, if you're being convicted of the Ruach, to begin to be faithful in this area, to lift the curse of generational poverty, this is the place to start. This is the time to start. This is the Shabbat to start, okay? So while we take our break, I'm going to come right back. Don't go anywhere. We're going to come right back with today's message. Please take this opportunity to go to Your Arms of Love. Well, it doesn't say that, but sorry, got the website wrong. Your Arms to Israel Global. Your Arms to Israel Global.com. You'll look for the Lions Club. You'll have different options: BluePay, PayPal, and Zelle. Check with your bank, because if you have Zelle, you'll be able to get all of your Kingdom Maaser, and they're going to take zero. So in other words, if you give 100, we get 100. So if you give 250, we get 250, okay? So just if you can, use Zelle. This way other non-Yahuwah partners don't get their hands on any of Yahuwah's money. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. So we're going to take a quick break. It's going to be silent. That didn't mean we went anywhere. We're just taking a quick break, giving you the opportunity to get the benefits of doing your part in the kingdom. And we'll be back with Yahuwah's blessed word. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Thanks to Yahweh, and we will feel Shabbat. Let's get together and feel worship Yah at the appointed time. Seek the one who wants it there. Then you'll be a brother of Seek the one who lives inside you. Then you'll be a brother of all. Are you going to Zion? Worship Yah at the appointed time. Seek the one who wants it there. Then you'll be a brother of all. Wearing kippah and tzitzit, worship.
Alrighty, we are back. Wi-Fi on the road, and I know you're having trouble. You'll just have to keep reconnecting. If you're hungry for the word, there's nothing I can do about it. We are having difficulties here. The stream is constantly, on a regular basis, being interrupted. It's not you, it's our end. We're using the internet here on the road. So there's been constant problems.